FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
Before we get to the first question, I want to ask you what you believe Google's weaknesses are. And I'll throw one potential out there, which is it has so much data and seems to be obsessed and driven by data and has a lot of very young people in charge of that data. Do you think we can trust Google?
Well, and they say this a lot. Without that trust, it goes away. We have to trust them. Google can't say, you know what, we keep information. It's not by who you are, it's not by your name, but they keep track of user behavior on their search engine. And one thing I learned is how important, why they fight so hard, why they say they have to keep it 9 months when even their competitors now get rid of it sooner. And that's because that information is the means by which they use to improve the search engine there. They analyze that information and they use it to feed almost this growing intelligence, like in a science fiction novel, to learn about the world, right? And without that information, they can't improve the search engine, they can't improve Google in general. So in order for us to keep using it, we have to trust Google. In order for us to keep putting our mail, our private information in documents in Gmail, we have to trust Google. So there's any number of ways we have to trust it. And they say time and again, this is why you can trust us, because we can't exist unless you trust us. Now, I'm a little wary of that. I remember when Tylenol poisoned people, and who could trust Tylenol after that? Yet Tylenol is a hugely selling medication now. So I'm not totally convinced that one mistake is going to be a Chernobyl of privacy there,
right.
and the trust for Google there.
Right.
So that is a weakness. I think maybe a bigger weakness would be that Google, when it wants to pursue something, it pursues it. And Google executives intellectually know that they are a big company with a big effect on people, but it isn't really baked into their beings. They still proceed as if they're a smaller company that is free to go and do it at once and doesn't have to worry too much about collateral damage. And I think that's already earned Google a good degree of government scrutiny of what they do, and that will continue really throughout the rest of Google's history.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think they have to be more proactive, and specifically I think it would help Google a lot if Larry Page were more proactive in addressing these issues and letting us know what they're up to.
Right.
Because though Google in some respects is transparent, to its employees it's very transparent. Everyone can look and learn about their fellow employees and their goals and through the internal website. But from outside, even though they let me in and they now do videos that explain a little how their products work, it's still fairly opaque. I compare it to a lobster. It's a hard shell, but kind of gooey on the inside there. I think it would help Google if they saw the perception of Google like a product. Larry's very product oriented, and the people who he elevated, right, are each in charge of a different product group. And it would be nice if Google's perception was a product that Larry wanted to improve and worked very hard at that.